Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Anchorman is the story of Ron Burgundy starring Will Ferrell. We all know him from Saturday Night Live and Talladega Nights and all those kinds of movies. But this was the one that really kind of put him out into the stratosphere as a big headliner. I mean, before he was in like Old School and stuff like that, but this was really his first big starring role.
I look good. I mean, really good. Hey, everyone! Come and see how good I look!
Ron Burgundy's this guy. He's very full of himself. He's gotten quite used to being the most beloved and famous man in all of San Diego.
Do you know who I am?
No, I can't say that I do.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Really?
People know me.
Another funny thing in the movie was when all of the reporting teams got together in this like back alley area and had this Braveheart style battle between, it was the number 1, 2, and 3 news team in San Diego, Public News.
Public News team is taking a break from its pledge drive to kick some ass. No commercials, no mercy! Yeah!
And the Spanish language news team.
¿Cómo están, bitches? Spanish language news is here. Tonight's top story. The sewers run red with Burgundy's blood. Yeah, yeah!
All having this battle to the death. What started out as a brouhaha turned into a full-scale war. Brick killed a guy with a trident, stabbed him in the chest, and it was really just one of those things, just completely out there. Around the middle of the movie, Ron Burgundy, who will read anything that is on the teleprompter, tells San Diego,
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
He didn't even realize that he had done it.
Oh, great Odin's Raven!
But of course he loses his job, and in that time Veronica Corningstone becomes the anchor, and she's the all-powerful anchor in all of San Diego.
It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Well, one day she disappears when the biggest story in all of San Diego takes place.
I can't believe this. Every news outlet in the world is looking for coverage on this. I've got no damn lead anchor. Damn it. Get me a phone. I can't believe I'm about to do this.
And the newsman calls Ron Burgundy to come to his aid.
Ed, hello!
Listen, Ron, our Miss Corningstone disappeared in the midst of the biggest story of the year. We need you down here right away.
And when Will Ferrell is on the phone with him, he tries to thank him, but he starts blubbering.
Ed, hold on, I wanted to say a few words. You have always been a good friend.
Get down here as quickly as you can.
Ed, I'll be down there.
And of course, Ron comes and saves the day, and we have our happy ending.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
What we doing live? Echoes in eternity.
Gladiator is the story of, and takes place in ancient Rome. It's the story of Maximus, the general of the armies in Rome. And we start the story, they win this huge battle, and he's got a lot of great lines before the battle.
At my signal, unleash hell.
The emperor at the time is Marcus Aurelius, and he has a son, Commodus, who thinks that, because of his father's advancing age, he will be passing down the right of emperor to him, to Commodus.
When his father told him that he was going to give the reins over to Maximus,
Commodus is so happy, he smothers his father and he kills him. Overnight, Commodus becomes the new emperor of Rome. And when he asks for Maximus's allegiance, Maximus knows what's been done to the emperor, and he says no.
So he was purchased like a slave and was was a gladiator for a living for a while there, and found his way back into the big ring.
When Maximus learns that he can return to Rome and once be able to face the emperor again, he becomes an animal in the gladiator ring. I mean, there was this one scene where it was him against 8 guys, and he killed them all in about 5 seconds. I mean, we can cut away for a minute and then, you know, watch him kill people in 5 seconds and be back. So go ahead and watch that. It's like, did you see that? 5 seconds. That's all it took. And then they were all dead. And none of them died peacefully. Upon his first battle, he returns. Commodus was so impressed with his performance that he wanted to meet him. So he goes down onto the arena floor and faces Maximus and tells Maximus to take his helmet off and reveal himself. And Maximus makes the mistake of turning his back on the emperor because he doesn't want to reveal himself for fear that he will be murdered before he gets his chance at revenge.
How dare you show your back to me? Slave! Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
What ensues is Maximus, or actually I should say Russell Crowe, delivering the line that won him the Academy Award. He turns around and he has this real menacing look on his face and he says,
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
It's the kind of thing that just sends chills up your spine.
Smile for me now, brother. Strap on his armor, conceal the wound.
And then in the final deal where he's, you know, Commodus is all in white, you know, like he's the righteous guy.
In an attempt to show his greatness or whatever, Commodus battles Maximus in the great arena. But of course, he's no match for Maximus one-on-one. Maximus kills him there in the great arena. Just like any other great movie, any movie that, you know, stirs up any emotions, Maximus dies as well from the wound that he suffered before the fight.
You know, the thing I really loved about that movie was just the action involved in it. Yeah, it was a guy film. I'm not sure my wife really appreciated watching all the you know, the swords and the battles and the wild animals and all that stuff. But I just found some sort of connection with just the way life was back then. You know, just a real, almost barbaric in some ways, but it was very. They're very in touch with life and death and survival.
One, two, three, do it.
And then there's Super Troopers. This probably has to be one of the more, you know, different comedies I've seen. It's about, you know, basically what it says about it. It's about state troopers in Vermont, and these guys are complete clowns. None of them really ever takes his job seriously.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Hey, Farva, what's the name of that restaurant you like with all the goofy shit on the walls and the mozzarella sticks? You mean Shenanigans?
Oh. There are 5 of them. There's the ranking officer, Thorny.
I am all that is man.
Then there's Foster.
Biker. I'm an idiot.
You have Mac, who's a whack job.
Oh, hell yeah, you don't throw out.
You have Rabbit, the rookie. Then there's Farva. Farva's a little unorthodox.
How about we pop a couple Viagra and issue tickets with raging mega huge boners?
Yeah, Farver freaked out on one of the cashiers at the Dip-A-Burger, I think it was called.
Give me a liter of cola.
A what?
Just order a large farva.
I don't want a large farva. I want a goddamn liter of cola.
I don't know what that is.
Liter is French for give me some fucking cola before I break loose fucking leg.
All right.
He jumped over the counter and tackled him and started throwing burgers on him and crap.
The very beginning, when they all get like just completely baked in the car and the cop comes up.
You want to know why I pulled you over? Littering.
Officer, that's not ours.
Littering and? Littering and? Littering and?
Littering and, littering and,
Littering and smoking the reefer.
This one kid ate a whole bunch of marijuana and shrooms, and he was just tripping his balls off.
He's sitting in the back of the cop car, licking on the plexiglass that divides the cops from the criminals.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
These guys never fail to try to have a good time at work. They have this, there's the meow game that they play.
He pulls this guy over and it's a test to see how many times he can say meow before the driver says anything about it.
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
Am I saying meow?
I thought...
Don't think, boy. Meow, do you know how fast you were going? Now, what is so damn funny?
Then there was the repeater game, which kind of self-explanatory.
Good morning. Would you mind stepping down from there with your license and registration?
Sure, I was just
Good morning.
kind of...
Would you mind stepping down from there with your license and registration?
Yeah, no problem.
The movie is full of these little moments. I mean, as I'm sitting here, I'm having trouble kind of trying to piece together what the movie is about, because it's a bunch of these funny moments just kind of strung together into this 90-minute movie, and there just happens to be a story underneath it, you know? And that's basically how I could describe Super Troopers. The 40-year-old version is simply just one of those great, you know, original comedies. I mean, you can, I mean, a lot of comedy movies, you know, the plots are repeated over and over again, but this was one that was really, it was really different.
The 40-year-old version is about a 40-year-old man who's a virgin, which is pretty rare in America, and he's pretty laid back, but kind of nerdy. He plays a lot of video games, and he's a homebody. He works at this place called Smart Tech, which is like a knockoff of Circuit City or whatever. He's the storage manager or something like that. He, you know, he works in the back room, in the stock room or whatever. But my favorite part that I liked about the movie was the poker game when it was revealed that he was a virgin. When they're asking him about some of his past sexual experiences, he kind of tips his hand that he may not have had the experience that he was talking about. And he was talking about feeling a girl's breast, and he had no clue what breast actually felt like.
Like you grab a woman's breast and you feel it, and it feels like a bag of sand when you're touching it.
Sandbags? Have you ever felt a breast before?
Yo, answer this question. Are you a virgin? Are you a virgin?
Yeah, not since I was 10.
It all makes sense. You're a virgin.
I am. Shut up.
And once these guys learn of this, once they learn that he's never had sex and he's 40 years old, they kind of take it upon themselves. They make it their own personal quest to make sure that he doesn't make it to 41 as a virgin.
When they're going to like the clubs and stuff like that, and he's trying to like pick up the women, and you have to use your peripheral vision and stuff like that.
I want you to use your peripherals. See, I'm not looking at you. No, see, I'm looking at the redhead at 3 o'clock with the big titties.
They try to instruct him on how to hit on drunk women.
You about to go run down some drunk chicks, all right? Don't confuse that with tipsy. We talking about drunk. I want vomit in the hair, bruised up knees. A broken heel is a plus.
In fact, he meets one and pretty much closes the deal with her. I mean, he's in her car, but what he doesn't know is that apparently in the past she's had a few issues with DUIs.
Are you drunk?
No, I didn't have anything to drink.
Go into this?
What is this?
The judge recommended I get one.
Just the experience of being in the same car with her behind the wheel.
Do you think I'm pretty? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm looking. You're pretty. You're pretty. God, I just want to live.
She falls asleep at the wheel, starts banging into parked cars.
Hey, hey, go, 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 turn away.
Off the wheel.
They finally get to the end, and she's gonna pull into her driveway, and
Home sweet home.
Yay.
Ends up like throwing up like shrimp or something like that, like all over him. It was disgusting.
Did you have a daiquiri tonight?
Yeah.
I thought you might. Okay.
My favorite scene is like he got chest wax.
Oh, we're gonna need more wax.
I'm staying. This is gonna be good.
I would never, ever, 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 ever expect to have some guy let somebody else do that to him. That would hurt so bad.
If somebody was waxing, oh my God, waxing hurts so bad.
Sweaty pie hole. Como se llama? No, Kelly Clarkson.
Oh my fuck, that hurts.
You know what, guys? This is not a good look for me.
Came out like it looked like a lantern, a pumpkin jack-o'-lantern on his chest.
You look like a man-o'-lantern.
they take him speed dating, and he meets all these women. There were two in particular that stuck out.
Gina, hey, what's up?
Nothing.
Look, I'm gonna be real honest with you. It's been a long time since I've been with a man. Spent a lot of time with the ladies.
And then, of course, there was, yeah.
What about you? You're used to like a really big city.
Really? God, yes.
Yeah, and he was trying not to recognize that the woman. Yeah, I love that part because she was just so, and their boob was.
You know, it was just so safe. There was no crime. I mean, a girl could just walk from one end of town to the other.
Despite all of his friends' best efforts, Andy is still a virgin throughout all of this. But he does manage to meet a woman, and they begin dating.
You want to go out sometime?
Yes. Yes, I would like that.
Andy doesn't know how to breach the subject of him still being a virgin, so one night it comes up, and they decide they're going to wait 20 dates before they have sex.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. I kind of predicted that they were going to be together in the end, but I thought that it was really shaky and rocky, and I didn't know if she was going to like the fact that he was a virgin.
The funniest part in the whole movie for me was when Andy is chasing his girlfriend. He's on his bike. He goes flying over her hood and through a two-sided billboard.
There were two sides to that billboard, and they both hurt equally.
One of the funniest lines in the movie.
For how it finally ends up and he's not a virgin anymore, I don't know, I think it worked out for the right reasons. You know, it wasn't just he was having sex just to have sex. He was actually doing it because he was with somebody that he cared about.
In the end, there is the happy ending. Andy and his girlfriend get married and eventually do consummate. So at the end, he's no longer the 40-year-old virgin. He's the 40-plus-year-old married guy who's had sex with one woman.
Where are you going? I'm going to pick a fight.
Well, it didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Braveheart is probably one of the greatest movies of all time. It is my favorite movie, which is why it had to be on this show. Braveheart is the story of William Wallace. And back in late 1200s, early 1300s, that all of this took place. You know, William Wallace was orphaned as a boy. His father and his brother were killed in battle, battling the evil king, Edward Longshanks, who was stated in the movie as
the most ruthless king ever to sit on the throne of England.
But at the time, Longshanks was trying to acquire Scotland, or to, you know, definitively rule Scotland, and decided that one way to get the kind of generals and officers and lords that he wanted over in England, that he would grant them a special privilege called prima nocte.
First night, when any common girl inhabiting their lands is married, our nobles shall have sexual rights to her on the night of her wedding.
William Wallace and Morin is his wife's name. They marry in secret so that this doesn't have to happen. Well, it is later discovered that at the very least 2 of them have something going on, and an English soldier tries to rape her. When William rescues her, he sends her off so that he can fight with the soldiers. He sends her away, puts her on a horse, off she goes. Unbeknownst to him, because he escapes the Englishman, she gets captured on her way out of the village. And she's later murdered by one of the town magistrate. Basically from then on, Wallace is leading the rebellion to overthrow England as the power in Scotland. And Wallace becomes this brave freedom fighter for all of Scotland. What turned out as a personal vendetta, what started as a personal vendetta to get revenge for his murdered wife, he takes on the cause of his entire country.
Go back to England and tell them there that Scotland's daughters and her sons are yours no more. Tell them Scotland is free.
The one historic thing about the Battle of Stirling was that in 100 years of the English battling at the time, no one had ever stood up to a charge of their cavalry, their heavy horse, the men on horse with the jousting sticks. No one ever stood up to one of their charges. William Wallace had this brilliant idea.
We'll make spears. Hundreds of them. Long spears, twice as long as a man.
And it led to their victory at Stirling. Unbelievable fight scenes in this movie. Unreal. You see these 5-foot swords going through people, people getting their throats slit. It was really brutal stuff.
We cannot defeat this army. We can't.
Sir William.
And we will.
The nobles wouldn't support Wallace, even with all of the victories that Wallace had, but they wouldn't support him. The nobles betray Robert the Bruce and William Wallace and have him captured.
No! Stay out of it, Robert!
And in an unbelievable ending to the movie, William Wallace is tortured before he is killed. The torture scene was brutal. He's hanged, he's stretched on the rack. And we don't get to see it, but they gutted him. You see the extreme pain on his face, because his entire goal in this whole torture thing is not to wail out loud, not to show pain. He shows such strength that the mob who is cheering on his destruction cries out for mercy. They want the torturers to show Wallace mercy. And when the head magistrate says that Wallace would like to say a word, instead of yelling out mercy, he cries out, and it's just at that moment that they realize they're not going to be able to break Wallace, so they kill him. Then we go on to see that Robert the Bruce becomes the King of England and charges off to fight the Englishmen to regain their independence.
You have bled with Wallace! Now bleed with me!
And they have this great moment. Wallace's best friend, Hamish, takes Wallace's sword and throws it out into the middle of the battlefield, and you see it flying through the air, it sticks in the ground, and then they're all chanting. Wallace, Wallace, Wallace. It's just
Every man dies. Not every man really lives.
I love that movie.